Greetings, fellow mathematicians. We're going to take a look at a basic product rule question that involves trig functions. Now this one's not complicated, but it's intended to just get you acclimated and used to combining differentiation rules with now these new functions, trig functions and their derivatives. So we're still going to apply divide and conquer here, but one thing I want to mention is we're changing the variable usually from x to now t. And that's intended just to make you comfortable with that. So let's rewrite our function here. We have it as a function of t cubed minus t plus 1 times sine of t. So we'll apply divide and conquer here. It's written straightforwardly as a product. We'll call that f, and we'll call that g. But now, instead of f of x and g of x, we're going to write it as f of t and g of t. So let's write that off to the side as usual. F of t is going to be t cubed minus t plus 1. And g of t, that's going to be sine of t. All right, and the derivatives here for f prime and g prime, they're both pretty simple. Combination of the power rule here, and the derivative of sine is cosine, but now g prime is going to be cosine of t. So if we just write these down, f prime, that's going to come out to 3t squared. And just be careful, t, that's like x. The derivative of x is 1. The derivative of t with respect to t is 1. And then the plus 1, that's a constant. That's going to differentiate to 0. So that's f prime, g prime. That's going to be cosine of t. And now we just put the pieces back together with the product rule. Our function was s of t, so the derivative, we're going to write it as s prime of t. And if we combine the pieces, we have f prime times g, 3t squared minus 1. And that's going to multiply sine of t. And then we add to that f times g prime. So t cubed minus t plus 1 times cosine of t. And that's it. Notice here, if you were to multiply or expand both those sets of parentheses out, you're not going to have any like terms. Here you have factors of sine of t being distributed in, and here you have factors of cosine of t being distributed in. So there's really not much that can be done with that to simplify it. I'm okay with my students leaving their answer like this in my Calc 1 course. So that's it. That is our derivative. Now, one thing I want to mention for this problem, kind of at this point in your Calculus 1 course, you might be used to thinking of s of t as denoting the position of an object. And one of the fundamental ideas in the beginning of a Calculus 1 course, the derivative of position, that's what we call velocity. So s prime, the first derivative that we calculated here, that would represent the velocity of an object. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the problem. Straightforward and to the point. If you're enjoying the content, support the channel, like and subscribe.